Unit 3, Lesson 3, Multiply decimals by decimals. When we are multiplying decimals, we stack and multiply like whole numbers. This means we do not line up the decimals. We add the amount of decimal place values in each factor, and then move the decimal in the product the same amount of times right to left. Let's practice. If we have 6/10 times 7/10, we just so happen to stack the decimals here only because they each have the same amount of place values behind the decimal. So we stack the numbers and we multiply like whole numbers. 6 times 7 is 42. Next, we add the decimal place values in each factor. 6/10 has 1 place value behind the decimal, and 7/10 has 1 place value behind the decimal, and we add those to give us 2 place values behind the decimal, which is how many times we move from right to left. 1, 2, place your decimal. So 6/10 times 7/10 is 42 hundredths. If you look at the tenths place value, we have 6, 7, and 4. So it goes to show that when we multiply a decimal times a decimal, the decimal amount that is our product will be smaller than the 2 factors. Next, we have 112 thousandths times 7 and 2/10. Notice that when we stack the numbers, we did not line up our decimals. We just stacked them, and now we will multiply as if they are whole numbers. We start with our 2 in our first place value, so our answer will go in the first place value underneath it. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 1 is 2. Next, we'll multiply by 7. 7 is in the 7 is in the tens place value if we are pretending these are whole numbers. So our answer does not start in the ones place value. Some of you may have been taught to put zeros here, and that's fine, continue doing that if so, but I like to place an X. So then we have 7 times 2 is 14, carry the 1. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 1 is 8, and then 7 times 1 is 7. Add your 2 products. We get 8,064. But it's not truly 8,064. We now need to count our decimal place values. So we have 1, 2, 3 place values behind the decimal in our first number, and then we have 1 place value behind the decimal in our second number. So that is a total of 4 place values that we need to move. So from right to left, we'll move our decimal 1, 2, 3, 4 place values to the left. So we really have 8,064 10,000ths for our answer. Next, we have a little bit of a PEMDAS situation. We need to follow our order of operation. First, we take care of our parentheses. 3 minus 5/10 gives us 2 and 5/10, and our 3/10 stays outside the parentheses. When you have 3/10 outside of the parentheses and 2 and 5/10 inside the parentheses, that means multiply. So we multiply 2 and 5/10 times 3/10 gives us 75 hundredths.